Hello, I'm Reda Anderson, and I am the first person to sign up with Rocketplane to go into space. And in fact, as far as we know and believe, I'm the first person to sign a contract to go into space on a private commercial vehicle. And that was done October 9th, 2004, 4 years ago.
Tell us how that happened, how you hooked up with Rocketplane.
Okay.
And if you would, restate my questions because I'm not mic'd up.
Oh, okay. In the first part of June, I tend to be an adventurer type. I've dived to the Titanic. I'm one of 12 women who've done that. There are only 100 individuals who have dived to the Titanic. It's 12,500 feet down to the depths of the ocean. It's very, very awesome. And I've done other things, fish for piranha on the Piranha River and a little tiny, tiny boat and things like that, and several other things. So I tend to do things that are a bit wacky. And in June 2004, a friend of mine, Bob Falcon, emailed me, and he said, Rita, there's something going on in Mojave I think you would be interested in. I live in the Los Angeles area. I said, okay. So I found out about it, and it was Burt Rutan's vehicle, Spaceship One, that was going on a test flight into space. So I went when there were about 15 of us in a kind of right on the tarmac where our feet are, I don't know, not even 3 feet from the tarmac. And so we're standing there. There are about 15 or 20 of us. And I said, I don't understand. Where are the people? Don't people know if this man, Burt Rutan, does what he says he's going to do, take this vehicle into space, it means I can go into space. I literally have chills right now remembering this. It just sends chills all over me. And if he does that, that means I can go to space. Anybody can go to space. So I was extremely excited, and where we were, I could not see anyone else. It's a very long runway, so I didn't realize there were people about a mile down the runway. They were on another side of the building, so I didn't see them. So anyway, Mike Melville takes spaceship. They go right directly in front of us. I mean, just so close. And so he's going in front. They take off, they go up, and they do go to space. I was so ecstatic, so out of control. I was crying, I was jumping up and down, I was shaking, because it meant in my lifetime, I'm now 69, so in my lifetime, I can go to space. I mean, this to me it's how many people in the world ever get to see, to feel, to know about the beginning of a new age. And to me, this is the beginning of the private commercial space age. It's beyond exciting. And so anyway, that was June 21st, 2004. I went back for the September flight. Then I went back for the October flight where Brian Binney flew that October 4th. He goes up. And since June, I am waiting to sign up. Where do I sign up? And I'm cutting this short. But so then I went to the Space Frontier Foundation, had a conference on the Queen Mary. I was invited to the Queen Mary by John Spencer, the head of Space Tourism Society. And so then someone there said, I think there's someone here you ought to meet. So and it was Chuck Lauer. Chuck Lauer is probably the number 2 person at Rocketplane. So I went over to meet Chuck Lauer. Chuck Lauer is a very tall individual, 6'4", 6'5", and I'm standing there with a friend of mine, Hank Murdoch, and we're talking to Chuck. Well, I already wanted to go, and Chuck is kind of like a used car salesman. He keeps talking, and I thought, shut up so I can tell you I want to go, I want to sign up. Where do I sign up? So I interrupted him at one point and I said, Chuck, how many people have signed up? And he said, none. We're working on the vehicle. And he keeps talking. And I said, Chuck, you have a card. And so Chuck hands me his business card. Now, Chuck, I have a real estate background, real estate investments, and Chuck has a commercial real estate background. So we're really kind of on the same level, the same plane as far as understanding each other from a business perspective. So I asked Chuck for his business card. He gave me his business card. So as he is continuing to talk, which he does, so I took he's interesting, but he knows, that's what I tell people about him. So I took a pen, and on the back of the business card, I wrote down Reda Anderson, first person to space, or whatever I said with Rocketplane. It was something like that, and signed my name. I took a dollar bill out of my pocket, I wrapped it around the business card, and I gave it to Chuck. Well, Chuck goes like this because he says, "Oh, this has all the elements of a contract." I said, "Yes, and because it had blah, 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 plus it had consideration, which was the dollar, because we both have a business background. Plus, it has," I said, "plus we have a witness with oral contract mixed in with the written contract." So anyway, I mean, I have an undergraduate in business, I have a master's in business, and more than 40 classes after that, and I thought about that, and I said, this is really, you think sometime your education, what is this? I want to get out and do things. But these things come back to your brain in the most unusual time. And you snooze, you lose. I wanted to go. He didn't have any customers. They're not doing that. I don't care. The best way to get something off of your list is not put it on your list. I had this on my list since June 21st that I wanted to go up. So as far as we know, that's the first contract that was signed by anyone to go into space on a private plane.